Hello, I am Gina Williams, and welcome to Classical Thursdays, bringing you new contemporary classical music. So let's get started. For years, I wanted to be a singer, and I worked very hard to get to where I am today. But today, I want to focus on someone else's voice. The voices in the realm of dance, the educators, the owners, the pioneers who seek to do things that no one else has done. So I want you to hear their stories of how they inspire other people to be the best they can be in the realm of dance. This is their voice, their art.
Hello, today we have the wonderful, talented, also beautiful Mary Hubbs with us. We are so fortunate, so blessed, so lucky, all that to have her here. Mary, thanks for being here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be talking with you.
Oh, it's a pleasure to finally meet you. You are probably one of the most busiest people I've ever met in my life. Honestly, how do you keep up?
I do not know. My life is very, very busy, but only like through God's strength and His providing for me am I getting through this time. So,
Wow. Do you find like you're busier now with the whole shutdown stuff going? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
yeah, a little bit with it just changed things. So, the regular system of, running a dance studio and going through your normal routine, you kind of have to overhaul things and replan and restructure how you're teaching classes and how many students and how your cleaning practices are, and scheduling is different. So it's not that it was harder or any different once you're in the class, but kind of like putting together a new system and making sure that it's in place for the new season, that was a little bit more difficult. But right now we're just happy to be back in dancing again, and we're super grateful for that.
That's so awesome. Oh, that is so cool. That's so awesome. Wow. Wow. What got you into dance? What was it? Was it Nutcracker? Was it
um
Sleeping Beauty? Was it none of the above?
Not really. So I grew up starting to go into dance just like my mom. Like most people slash most moms, they just put you in a dance when you're a little girl. And I kind of liked it. And then I had this wonderful, amazing teacher that kind of went against the norms of the studio that I was at. And she was teaching more like theater-based dancing, musical theater that involved like singing and dancing and acting and was much more expressive. And so I got into more of the theater world with her, and I really, really enjoyed that. And she opened up her own studio, and then I became a teacher under her when I was 14.
What?
Started assisting and just learning from her and helping her kind of run things. And then when I was 16, she left the business and handed it over to me. So then I just continued teaching, and that's really where my passion was at. Was I realized at a young age that I rather be helping others and like teaching and educating kids rather than myself being on the stage. I enjoyed the behind the scenes of planning choreography and putting together a piece and educating kids and seeing them figure out that next step, and having the artistic side of planning a show and putting everything together. And so I liked that side of the theater and dance world more than I did as a performer.
Mhm.
And that's only grown now that I continue to run my studio and have obviously got like a lot more
Wow.
education and stuff. It's been fun. It was a really strict learning curve, but it was a really good one. And I was very humbled in a lot of ways growing up and learning through that situation at such a young age.
Yeah. Oh wow. That and you're pretty young still. Because I remember the first time we talked, I was like, how old are you? And I thought, oh, I really shouldn't ask you that. You're like, I'm only like
22.
I didn't want to say it just in case, that was still on the
It's fine.
22. Wow. That's incredible. You have no idea. You have no idea. And like you've been at 22, not only have you been running the dance center, but you've also been helping other people with
Mhm.
their dances and scheduling and like I don't know how to put it. You are like the Anna Wintour of ballet.
That's funny. No,
So,
I feel like all of that was just a godsend for me. Was I have always had a heart for Africa, and I have always had a heart for dance, and I've always, felt like those were separated, that I couldn't ever have both. I couldn't ever live in Africa and do what I wanted to do and learn about the people and the culture there and also do dance. And then I met Daniel in Nigeria about 2 years ago, and we became friends because I was just looking. I was like, so are there dance schools in Nigeria? Like, are they even there? What's the culture like of ballet and dance in there? And I found him. And then just through building that relationship and just everything that's going on right now with him and his students and the success of his academy, helping him build up his program and get certifications so that he can be successful there too and help their community. Um, it's been great. And
that, that's
it's a
all.
lot. It's a lot of work, but it's also a blessing because I always just felt like those two things were separating. God kind of just said, like, I got you, like, trust me, like, I will put it so that you can have both. You can do dance and you can, learn about the culture and be involved in Africa how you want to be. Um, and so he brought that opportunity and put it in my plate. And it's been a really big blessing.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And just for our viewers, you have not yet been to Africa.
No, I was supposed to go to Nigeria this past
Right.
summer and then COVID hit. So I was not able to go there. We were planning to go for about 2 or 3 weeks and meet some family and some friends and meet Daniel from the academy there in Lagos, but we were not able to travel given the current circumstance.
Wow. You know what? You're not alone there. I'm in Kiev at the moment. I was supposed to, well, I was invited to come back and perform at I believe it was a jazz festival in April, and then COVID hit. So that didn't happen. But I'm here right now on something, doing something completely different. And like you said, I feel blessed, equally blessed to be here in Kiev. So I think it's really cool that we are like crossing continents and
Yeah.
eventually we'll, I don't know if I should say it, save it as a surprise. We may have 3 continents on this call. One of these calls. It's so cool. Wow. It's so like at your school right now,
Mhm.
like do you have a lot of boys involved, girls involved? Like how does it work? Like what's the mission, your mission for the school?
Yeah, our mission statement is serving God through the gift of dance in our local community. So, we are a Christian Dance Academy that focuses on quality technical education as well as providing, the confidence and the life skills and the building up of the students inside the classroom. We really believe that a dance education isn't just a dance education, it's a life education. You can learn so much from it. Um, and we have a couple boys. A lot of them take hip hop. They think it's fun and cool, and why not?
Yeah.
We do have one older boy that is fully involved on our competitive team and does ballet and contemporary and is a more modern dancer. Um,
Wow.
and he's super successful. And then all our boys that are also in hip hop are super fun. But the majority of our basis is younger students and girls. And we're working right now. Our current season is working on a Christmas nativity story. So we're hoping to put that show together by December.
that sounds cool. Is it going to be like, this is gonna be a really dumb question, but I'm gonna ask.
No.
Is it gonna be like the nativity or the nativity meets Nutcracker? Nutcracker meets nativity?
No,
Are
that's
they nativity?
Nutcracker. So our
You
program
know
works.
what Nutcracker is?
Yeah, we have a Christmas show every year, which most studios never do. But we do every year. That's just how it works. It's what works for our studio, and everyone is different. But this year's theme is specifically the nativity scene. So we have basically like 12 different scenes, and everything is instrumental orchestra music,
Ooh.
and it's just very impactful. And we basically just follow the storyline of how the world was created and kind of introducing God and who Jesus is, and then following the story of, the traditional biblical narrative of that, trying to tell it as authentically and as powerfully as possible, but then also keeping the kids engaged with like fun music, which has been
Yeah.
really interesting because it's all orchestra music and like all instrumental. There's no words or lyrics, which they're not used to. So it's been a little challenging, but it's been fun to get their musicality up.
Oh wow. So I this is kind of blowing my mind. So like the whole orchestral stuff, do you like are these like actual like almost like musicals in a wise you dance to, or are they like classical orchestral? Like
Yeah.
I'm picturing my head.
Yeah, we just, when our teachers we have a meeting at the beginning of the year, and we all basically just go through YouTube and try to find music that, like, we set the 12 scenes and like knew that those were the parts that we wanted to hit and those were the storylines, and then we kind of listen, okay, like Joseph's dream, what would that sound like in a musical form? Fleeing to Egypt, that's super powerful. That's less of a dreamy musical tone. So we need something more powerful with a bigger punch. And so we kind of just listen through lots of different music and then start piecing it together with our team and artists.
That's so cool. When this is done, as you say, you do it every year. It's an annual Christmas show.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, especially with the whole situation where everybody's like Zooming and Skyping and all that fun stuff. Are you, is it just for the public there? Or are you opening it onto streaming for other people who want to peer into the world of, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
So what we did this past year, because of COVID shut down our current spring showcase that we were supposed to finish up in like June,
Yeah.
and quarantine and the stay-at-home orders and everything was still implemented when that happened, so we had to postpone it. But we
Wow.
did start to slowly build it back up and get our students back in the studio, and we filmed it. We basically just had only the students come in and had safety measures and precautions and stuff, and we filmed it, and then we put together this huge long showcase, and then it was on like a private YouTube listing for people that wanted to purchase it or buy it, or their parents or grandparents, which in a unique way actually got a lot more people involved, because you have grandparents and cousins and everybody that maybe lives in a different state or even like a different country that
That's it.
normally don't get to travel and come see their grandkids showcase, but they were able to because it was online. So it was a little different, but we're hoping that that was something that we learned from that was actually a good thing to start doing more often. So yeah, our shows will be online, posted at some point in a
That's
private.
awesome. And the only reason why I'm being so annoying and asking that
No, you're
question
fine.
is because, there might be people, on my end that are like, wow, that sounds really cool. I wouldn't mind checking that out or
Yeah.
something like that. So, and on my end, I got people who are, from the Christian background, and some of them aren't, and some of them, want to see, just kind of get into the Christmas spirit and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, appreciate this side of art. They get Nutcracker and Nativity. So
Yeah.
that is so cool. That is so, so cool. I guess My, I guess, last question, it doesn't have to be really the last, but last question is, what would you, and we're kind of getting there in a wise, what would you want to see more of in the world today? Like, what's
Mm,
burns in your heart?
wow. Okay.
You can answer that in 10 different ways. There's no one way to answer that.
I was gonna say that was a big question. I think honestly, the thing that I have learned most, and that will be the little kind of sneak peek of the next person that joins us here in a little bit.
Yeah.
I think the thing that I've learned the most over the past couple of years and that I really see as a need is people understanding other people from different cultures and different backgrounds, respecting, loving, and appreciating those people for who they are, and not necessarily judging them or anything like that, but just showing each other love and Christ's faithfulness through that. And so I feel like if we can do more of that and understanding, and even in the dance world, I feel like in the dance world, it can be so competitive, and you have other artists that go, "Ooh, I didn't do it that way," or "She is different," or "I didn't like how they choreographed that song," or something. If we would be more appreciative to go, okay, this is an artist, that's how they portray themselves, and that's what makes them happy, and that's what makes them feel good, and that's how that song spoke to that person. I'm going to respect and support that and just love that person and build them up for it. And then
Awesome.
also realize, I think, like, seeing Daniel integrate ballet with his Nigerian culture, it's kind of pushed me to be like, well, how can I integrate different things? How can I integrate my faith into my dancing? How can I show my students more care and passion and love? So I think that from a small personal perspective is something that I would love for other people to go out and say, okay, this person is a little bit different than me. They're from a different culture, but that doesn't mean that they're wrong. That just means
Well
that,
said.
yeah.
Honestly, unless you have more you want to tell me, I, I'm good.
Good. I'm good. Daniel's in here waiting in the waiting room. So if you want to talk and bring him on, that would be cool.
Let's bring him on. Let's
Okay.
bring on the man.
See if he can join in.
This is awesome.
3 different
Two.
continents connecting.
Yeah, this is it. This is the, and it was like right at the tail end of what we were just saying.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, that's so wild. Hi, Daniel.
Hello.
Oh, wow.
You're muted.
Привет. Привет, Daniel. Oh, you're totally muted.
Yeah, Daniel, we can't hear you.
Daniel, you are speaking a language that none of us are understanding right now. It's called mute, the mute language. It's universal, but
Oh,
where did he go?
he disappeared. Oh my gosh. Oh no.
He went into another. Hopefully, at least he showed up.
Yeah.
I'm with you 100%. 100%. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
That will be our next dance routine.
Oh gosh. Ooh, oh, she got it. Oh.
I try. I gotta keep up with you guys, man. I gotta keep up.